Hey guys, Colin here. Today is the 15th of May 2012, which brings us to the 16th day of our Dungeoneering series from Novel to End. And today I'm going to be showing you guys an Occult SL that I hosted last night. Might have actually been yesterday afternoon, so sorry I lied. But this was including people like Gruely and Jacob and somebody else who I can't remember, and I'll remember halfway through the floor and give them credit. Oh, it was Slash, that's who it was. Slash was in this floor too. Thanks to Slash for helping out. He helped a lot yesterday, actually. So did Knight. Knight was helping me a lot out. The thing with SL floors is even though I'm suiciding, the times are still generally slower, just because you have a leech. Like that's the way it works. Even though somebody's trying to compensate by suiciding, they'll be slower. So if you're on World 67 or on World 77 and you're trying to get into a floor, and there's somebody standing there offering an occult, and there's somebody offering an occult SL, you want to take the occult because it's going to give you a better time, hopefully. However, sometimes I find that having that suicide key will really motivate people because if you don't know the people you're dungeoning with, sometimes they can end up being pussies, and you'll run into like a runebound behemoth or whatever, the boss, which is the boss in this floor, and nobody would go in the room. They're all scared and they're serve prodding and they're being little bitches, whatever. And I'm gonna swear a lot in this one. I'm just in a swearing mood today, so fuck it. But yeah, so this was an SL4 that I keyed, and I've been doing a lot of SLs lately, as I mentioned. Yesterday was no exception. I don't even know how many I did. I probably made 10 or 15 mil last night. And I ran into a couple more people who want to do some pretty long-term leeching, so that's good news. I need the money because I tested out range slaying, and it's just not for me. When it takes an hour to do a Dark Beast task, there's just no way that I can do that. So I think chinning's the way I'm going to go. About 4 weeks ago, I was pretty low on bank, like seriously low on bank. And I went out and got full Elite Void and did the whole, whatever that quest is for the Karasi sword and get the full Elite Void. So I did all that, and then I camped Frosties for a bit, made like 20-30 mil. That was okay range XP. But I think I'm just going to go for it because that Hexbow it's tempting. And I'm dungeoning with a lot of people now. Like I'm doing a lot of floors with Jacob because he's getting really close to his max cape. So I'm doing a lot of floors with him, and he's 99 Slayer, and he already told me that, hey, if we run into some Hexbows, we'll divvy them out the way they should be done. So I need to go get 98, 99 range off chins, and right now it's not even that much. I'm pretty sure it's like 3 GP per XP, and I'm already 91 range, so I probably only need like 7 mil XP. So hopefully I can get it for like, 15, 25 mil, give or take. So this floor, like, the leeches I've had, I've probably switched through about 5 of them. Actually, it's hard to find time to do them all. So I sent one off to Gruely, and that went well, I think. And then I still have a couple for myself, and I'm trying to like, well, everyone's starting to trust me a lot more, and that's kind of why I want to put this video out, just to show people like who are looking into using me as a key. I'm not like I don't. You can't boost yourself in this way. Like you can't say I'm trustworthy, give me your mill before the floor because hey, I'm not going to scam you. Like it means nothing to just come from me. Like the reason I'm getting these leeches now is just through word of mouth. I got a PM yesterday where somebody said, I think it was my fail. One of the leeches said that, yeah, I told my clan about you, so if you get more people, then they got it through me. I was like, oh, that's awesome, thanks, because like that's what I need, right? Like word of mouth is how you spread, like how you spread that you're a good keyer. Like I can tell you for a fact, Gruely is a fantastic keyer. We were doing 13-minute floors last night, and that brings me to my next topic. Is Skype or Ventrilo or Steam or however you want to do it, but you will easily cut 2 minutes off your floor if you're on Skype. If you just consider how much you have to type in a floor or how many people don't type in a floor, if you have perfect communication on a team, it improves your odds of getting a good time by far. The other thing that was helping our floor times was that 3 people had hexes and 3 people had primal 2 hands. And when I said that we were getting good XP, we were getting fantastic XP last night. One floor I did was like 14 minutes and 120k XP. Should have taken a screenshot of it or recorded it, but I just wasn't. I was in the mood to. Sometimes I don't feel like recording the clips because after you record them, you have to wait like 30-40 seconds for it to like create a video file, and then you have to save it as a file, and then it does this little rendering, editing thing. And we were in such a groove that I didn't want to like disturb that. I don't know, the call I joined, it ended up being like a 4-hour call, and I think it was already like a little bit in before I got there. But a lot of things went really well that night, and when 3 people have hexbows, that means that 3 people have Sag arrows as their bind. So there was only me with a CSB, which is the Celestial Surge box. So we were finding that it was extremely beneficial for me to really utilize it. So if I ran into Fire Giants, for example, I was maging the Fire Giants with my Blazer ring on, and it was doing a serious amount of damage. Every warrior we ran into, the phrase is now just GT Mage, which is actually not like a new phrase by any mean, but GT Mage just means if you have a CSB and you can help out, come now because there's just a warrior left or whatever. So whenever like at the spawn table, like when you first pop up and there's a table full of food, whatever, if there was like if there was a empowered fire staff or like whatever kind of staff there, they just give it to me, or like they find me a staff or make me a staff, whatever. Like if there's gravekeepers kicking around, and it was really good for bosses. Like we got a lot of dreadnoughts, which are if you're doing warp floors and you see a dreadnought, you just won. And we were also using Razors a lot. And last night actually on Jack of Trades, I got 91 summoning, so I can use the Sachem Blood Ragers, which is great because how many times have I ended up at a boss and somebody dropped me a Rager pouch that I couldn't use because I was only 90 summoning? It happened a lot. So this is good. It's just always little things that are improving on my account that are going to help the times get better. Like as for binds, I'll be with the Blood Necklace for a while unless chinning's really quick. I don't know what the XP per hour is, and I've never tried it. I don't know how much money, like I have a lot of money that I can use, but I'm trying to use it for flips. And I'm hoping that if I can balance it with flips and suicides and I can get it for like under 20-30 mil, then I'll just chin the range because it shouldn't be like that significant. So yeah, so the Skype call went really well last night. Jacob's almost maxed. And this floor is an example of the suicide cane that I wanted to show. I'm just trying to think of what other topics I had. Hopefully there's not a lot of background noise in this video because I have my window open and my curtain seems to want to hit it all the time. And there's construction going on outside. It's because they're redoing our road or whatever. That's Canada for you. It's been freaking gorgeous lately though. I don't know what it's like where you guys live, but you know it's summer. Well, summer's coming when it's like 23 Celsius in Canada. It's crazy up here. No snow, I know, right? But yeah, so as for the Skyping situation, I don't like to, like, I live in a small house and people can hear me and stuff, so I don't like to talk on Skype like that much when I'm not by myself. Like when I record these videos, everyone's at work. I have a really nice school schedule right now, and it's like the last 3 or 4 weeks of high school, so I don't have a lot of responsibilities right now. So I get home at like 1:30 and I have like 3 hours to myself. So right now is like an opportune time for me to record commentary and Skype and Dungeon and all that stuff. So I've been doing a lot of it about this time of day, and also do a lot of it at night. And last night when Gruely messaged me to come on Skype, I was kind of like, meh, I don't know, just because like I wasn't like, I don't know, not comfortable with it. And I think a lot of people feel that. I know in efficiency experts, we have a Ventrilo, and a lot of people are on there, and they always like, they're just talking whatever, doing dungeons together and whatnot. And it's kind of intimidating, I guess, in a way, because these are people you're not like necessarily close with. But after you do it like 1 or 2 times on, like after you've talked 1 or 2 times on Skype, it's like it gets into be like less of a big deal. I don't know. I just found it like it was like an obstacle that I had to like kind of get over. Like, I'm not a shy person, obviously. If I was a shy person, I wouldn't be posting these videos. Like I have no kind of, you know, reservations about myself like talking to other people. But it's just different, right? It's meeting new people and it's exposing yourself to something new. But if you can take that leap and do it, there are definite benefits, because I found that the floors not only were quicker, and I actually died a lot less in these floors, and I wasn't serve prodding. It was just like it seemed that I just knew what everyone was doing at the same time, and everyone was just kind of on the same page. Like there definitely wasn't a designated keyer, even though Gruely was keen. Like everyone was just running their own paths, and it worked so nicely. And it's just this like, you kind of understand the floor a lot better because people tell you what's going on. Like right now, if you look at the floor, Gruely just told me an MGT. Okay, cool, all MGT, no big deal. Because I had to be path gated, but like they don't know what paths I have. I just told them that's a GD, but they don't know what the other paths are, right? And it really helps with math perspective as well, because sometimes you'll gate a door and you'll either, 1, forget it, like you'll forget what you gated. 2, your gate might be in an area where there's a lot of things, so like instead of just gating 1 key door, you'll actually be responsible for like 3 doors. And if you know where that is in the map, like if it's southeast or whatever, it's a lot easier to just get a perspective on the map. And that's what was really helpful last night was we were like, okay, he was northwest, and then somebody would speak up and say, oh yeah, it's a yellow corner, I have it, no big deal. And then instead of me having to, like, when I'm dungeoning with randoms, I'd be like, crap, what's northwest? I'd be like, what's northwest? I'd type it in, and then nobody would say anything, and I'd be like, shit, I gotta go find the northwest. So I'd run up there, and that's where the time goes, right? It goes between that, and it goes between like having good binds. Like having the hood bind isn't necessarily the best thing to do. The blood necklace does a significant amount of damage. If you're 100 plus and you run into one, I would recommend binding it over the hood. Almost no matter what your situation is, unless you're absolutely terrible at dungeoneering like Jacob is, and you need that extra bonus, then yeah, I would definitely take the BN over it. I have no intentions of switching back. It takes a couple floors to adjust to, but I have zero intentions of switching back to the hood. It's just going to be the hex bow, and I'm going to keep the primal plate body with the hex bow, because I see a lot of people hexing with the primal plate body still on, like they don't even switch out of it. So I don't see a need to. Like it should be it should be the best combination, I think, just like a prom two hand and then the hex and then the primal plate body. So hopefully I can find time to range, and hopefully I can have the floors to support my newfound chin addiction. So hopefully it all works out. But we'll see how that works out in the coming future. And I just was totally redundant and said works out like 4 times in a row. Well, whatever, I don't really care. Like as for these commentaries, they're not. Let's talk about YouTube for a minute. These commentaries are really relaxed. I don't feel like obligated to like pump out perfection day after day. I think people like correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just something to watch while you're skilling or doing rocktails, and it's just supposed to be like even if it's not for you guys, it's for me. It's just a log, right? So when I'm making these, it's just like I'm just winging it. This is the first time I've recorded. Like this is the first take of it. I don't need to take multiple trials of it. So I'm just trying to talk when I do these, and then when I run out of things to say, I just talk about talking, which is what I'm doing now. This is probably the worst it's ever been, to be honest. So let's just talk about the floor then, because the Broombound Behemoth is a pain of a boss, especially if you're with randoms. I hate it because if you don't have a hex bow, it's even more difficult. But as a suicide keyer, if you run into a Runebound Behemoth, it's best to just start it. Like try to do as much damage as you can. But once again, the whole reason I uploaded this floor was just to show like people who leech and people who want to leech floors that this is what it should be like. 16 minutes and 33 seconds for 1.5 mil or whatever was the cost of the floor. And I think the leech got about like 80k XP for that. So as always guys, thanks for watching.